Hello. In this lecture, I try to clarify the Lorenz curve. What is the Lorenz curve? Lorenz curve is nothing but the graphical presentation. It is a graphical presentation. It is a graphical distribution of wealth. It is a graphical distribution of income that shows the proportion of income earned by any given percentage of the population. Okay, this is the Lorenz curve. Now look at this diagram. Okay, Max Lawrence in 1905 represented this Lawrence curve. So along this horizontal axis, we measure the percentage of population. Okay, from 0% to 100%. And along the vertical axis, we measure the percentage of national income. That is from 0% to 100%. And now, if you have a closer look, then you can find there is two lines. One is a 45-degree line, and another is a curved line. Okay, this line is the perfect equality line. This is the perfect equality line. Okay, it means it means that 25% national income is earned by 25% population of a particular country. This point is so so this 45-degree line is nothing but the locus of all those points where percentage of national income and percentage of population is set. Okay, at 5% national income is earned by 5% population. This point represents this. Okay, this point. Look at my cursor. This point. Now, so what is the Lawrence curve? Lawrence curve is actual distribution of income of a particular country. Actual distribution of income. For example, look, 5% national income is earned by 25% population. This point represents this. This point represents this. So in this way, there are number of points, and this locus represents the Lawrence curve. This locus represents the Lawrence curve. The farther away from the diagonal, the farther away from the diagonal, the more unequal the size of the distribution of income. The more unequal the size of the distribution of income. Okay, so you can find here a inequality gap. An inequality gap you can find here, and this is the gap between the perfect equality and the actual distribution of income. Actual distribution of income. Now now we can say that the Lawrence curve shows precisely at which income percentile the observed distribution varies from the line of equality and by how much. The Lawrence curve precisely represents this. A Lawrence curve gives more detailed information about the exact distribution of wealth across the population in compared to the Genie coefficient or the Lorenz asymmetry coefficient. Genie coefficient actually a summary statistic. It represents a summary statistics value, its value from 0 to 1. 0 to 1, if there is a Gini coefficient, I will spread some line in the next slide, and and it can the Lawrence curve can show precisely at which income, at which wealth percentiles the observed distribution varies from the line of equality and by how much. Okay, now the Gini coefficient. The Gini coefficient is derived from the Lorenz curve. Gini coefficient is derived from the Lorenz curve. And the Gini coefficient can be used as an indicator of economic development of the country. It is an indicator of economic development in the country. The Gini coefficients measure the degree of income equality in a population. It has the coefficient can vary from 0 to 1. That is, when it is 0, it is perfect equality, and when it is 1, there is perfect inequality. It means that when there is Gini coefficient is 1, it means a single individual receiving all the income. And when it is 0, Gini coefficient is 0, everyone has the same income. Everyone has the same income. So if you have, there is a relationship between the Gini coefficient and the Lorenz curve. When the Gini coefficient is 0, there is egalitarian. Okay, there is egalitarian. And when the Gini coefficient of 0.33 in my picture, you can find this is the Lorenz curve. When Gini coefficient is 0, then the Lorenz curve coincides with the 45-degree line. And when Gini coefficient is 0.60, the second blue line is the Lorenz curve. When Gini coefficient is 0.75, then the third one is the Lorenz curve. And when it is 1, Gini coefficient is 1, then it is the total heterogeneity. A single individual receiving all income when the Gini coefficient is 1. Okay, the gap from this green line and blue line, the Lorenz curve, is the inequality gap. The inequality is increasing when the Gini coefficient is increasing. Okay. Now, how to calculate the Gini coefficient? And if you look here, then this area, the inequality gap, is represented by A. And this area beyond the Lorenz curve is represented by B. So Gini coefficient is equal to A by A plus B. A by A plus B. This is the Gini coefficient. So in this way, you can calculate the Gini coefficient. So I hope you got the point and enrich your knowledge thereby. And in this lecture, I have tried to clarify what is the Lorenz curve and what is the Gini coefficient and how the Gini coefficient and the Lorenz curve are related. Okay, so thank you for enjoying this lecture.